God is our joy and our peace. Do you know the difference between happiness and joy? Well, I'm gonna tell you. You see, happiness is, I'm happy today, I'm sad tomorrow. I'm happy then, I was happy then. Either way, happiness is fleeting. It comes, it goes. Joy is like happiness, yet it stays with you through the good times and through the bad times, and even through the ugly times. Joy is what we seek, truly. It's not just happiness. Now, I want you to know that God is our joy and our peace. And why do I say that? It's because God can bring you joy into your very life, whether it's a good time or a bad time or a hard time, you can still have joy. I want you to know that a thought that I used to struggle with is probably a thought that you probably struggle with. And it's the thought of, does God know what's best for my life? You see, we have plan A here, and we think this is what God really wants us to do because it's what we want to do. But then we find out God's asking us to do this over here, and we realize those things don't coincide. And when I've personally lived this life, I've realized it didn't satisfy me. And when I lived this life, it did. Even though it was scary and sometimes harder and not the easy road, I saw the blessings. Because when I obey God, He seems to bless me. Now, when I first lived in California, I'll give you an example. I wanted to stay in my hometown. Everyone knew me. It'd be easy to find jobs. It was easy to go to free college there and all this stuff and just live a life around comfortable people and people that know me and love me. But God was calling me out to Florida, to a college that was $13,000 more expensive than the college here, to get a job that I have no idea if I was gonna get a job, to live on my own, to be away from everyone I know and have to create a new community. I went out to Florida and it was scary, it was hard, it was a hard decision. But I saw God's blessing came in, and scholarships flowed into my life where now I'm not paying anything for college right now. And I have wonderful opportunities for work and to have income in my life. I have built a community here thanks to God. And that was what He wanted. So when we live a life apart from God, it's never truly going to satisfy you. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's nice things, whether it's a sport, whether it's the friend group you're hanging out with, if it's not something that God wants you to be doing, it's not gonna satisfy and it's gonna fall away. You may be happy today, but in the end, it probably isn't gonna turn out the way you want it to. And I just wanna encourage you to know that God wants to be a part of every aspect, and He has a plan for you, and He does know what is best for your life. And I hope that you can learn to trust Him in that. Maybe today God is asking you to not be in a certain relationship or not hang out with certain people, maybe not do certain things. And I know you're probably going through these bad examples and bad stories, but sometimes they can be good things. God asked me to quit my sports team so I could play piano for my church. I didn't know why, and I did. And sports was a good thing in my life, but when I quit, I saw so many opportunities come up for church that without it, I would not have grown in the faith that I did. Now, I'm not asking you to quit a sport. I'm just saying that sometimes God asks for a hard decision because He has something better for you. I'm gonna read a little verse to encourage you, and then I'm gonna leave. But I want you to think about this verse as you go throughout your day. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to His purpose." Now that's beautiful. Here's another verse that is going to be amazing, a few verses, and it's Psalms chapter 23. It says, wait a minute, I'm not gonna read it because I want you to go and read it. Because I think Psalms 23 can really show you how to rest in God, how to find peace and joy in Him, and to trust that He has a plan and He's looking out for you. So go read Psalms 23.